Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The battle for success does not start with the job you take, the people you meet, or the money you make. It starts quietly in a place no one else can see. It starts in your mind. Every day, before you even step out the door, your thoughts are shaping the world you will experience. Before you make a decision, before you take an action, before you chase a dream, you have already begun winning or losing based on the conversations you are having with yourself. The mind is a battleground. It is where hope rises or falls. It is where dreams are nurtured or destroyed before they are even born. What you allow to grow inside your mind will determine what you experience outside in your life. Most people think external challenges are the greatest obstacle, but they are wrong. The greatest obstacle is invisible. It is the voice that says, "You can't," before you even try. It is the fear that tells you to play it safe when your heart is calling you to take a risk. It is the doubt that whispers louder than the belief you need to move forward. People are taught to fear failure, but no one warns them about the far greater danger. A mind that has already decided it is not possible. A mind trapped in fear will stop more dreams than failure ever could. If you lose in your mind, it is only a matter of time before you lose in life. A successful life is built on a successful mindset. That does not mean you never doubt or fear. It means you fight. It means you catch yourself when your mind begins to spiral into negativity and you pull yourself back. It means you take control over what you allow yourself to believe. You choose what seeds you plant in your mind because you understand that whatever grows inside will one day show up outside. Thoughts are seeds, and your life is the harvest. Plant fear, and you will reap regret. Plant faith, and you will reap strength. Plant discipline, and you will reap achievement. Plant doubt, and you will reap excuses. There is a direct line between your strongest thoughts and the reality you live in. If you constantly think you are not good enough, that thought will bleed into your body language, your decisions, and your habits. You will hesitate when you should act. You will shrink when you should stand tall. You will say no to opportunities that were meant for you because your mind already said no long before you even heard the offer. On the other hand, if you train your mind to believe you are capable, worthy, and prepared, your actions will reflect that belief. You will move differently. You will speak differently. You will show up in rooms with the energy of someone who belongs there, not someone who is apologizing for taking up space. Mind, it is not something you fix once and forget. It is a daily battle. Every morning, you will face the temptation to doubt yourself, to play small, to lean into fear. Every morning, you have to choose to lean into belief instead. You have to choose to focus on what is possible instead of what is wrong. You have to choose to speak life over your dreams instead of death. The mind left unattended will always drift toward fear and negativity. It is human nature. That is why it takes discipline to think differently. That is why it takes work to believe differently. That is why you must be intentional with the thoughts you allow to grow. When you understand that the mind is the true battleground, you stop blaming external factors for internal defeats. You stop giving so much power to the economy, your upbringing, your circumstances, and start taking responsibility for what you believe. You realize that two people can face the same setback, but one sees it as a reason to quit, and the other sees it as a reason to rise. The difference is not in the setback. The difference is in the mindset. It has always been the mindset. People who rise are not people who never fall. They are people who refuse to let the fall define them. They refuse to let the fall speak louder than the voice inside that says, "Get up again." Training your mind is about surrounding yourself with truth. It is about guarding what you listen to, what you read, what you watch, and who you allow to influence you. It is about feeding your faith instead of your fear. It is about speaking affirmations over your life, not because magic words will change everything, but because repeated truth will eventually drown out the lies. The mind is shaped by repetition. What you say to yourself daily becomes what you believe, and what you believe becomes how you live. If you want a better life, you must first create a better mindset. You cannot wait until you feel confident to think confidently. You cannot wait until you have proof of success to believe you are capable. Confidence is not something you wait for, it is something you decide. It is something you create through mindset. You decide to believe before you see it. You decide to walk in faith before you have all the answers. You decide to keep speaking life even when life feels heavy. You decide to push forward even when your mind tries to pull you back into fear. Every decision is a battle. Every battle is won or lost in the mind first. The mind is not just where the journey to success begins. It is where it is sustained. Every new level of growth will demand a stronger mind. Every new opportunity will require deeper belief. The higher you climb, the louder fear and doubt will try to call you back down. If you do not master your mind, you will sabotage your own success. You will build a life bigger than your thinking can sustain, and you will pull yourself back down to the level of your belief. That is why the mind is not just the starting line. It is the foundation. It is the fuel. It is the fight. Every time you choose to believe in yourself, every time you choose faith over fear, every time you choose to keep going when quitting would be easier, you are winning battles that no one else can see, but that everyone else will one day see the results of. Talent alone has never been and will never be enough. The world is full of talented people who never lived up to their potential. Talent can open a door, but belief is what carries you through it. Belief is what pushes you forward when the journey gets hard. Belief is what allows you to rise after failure, to keep dreaming after disappointment, and to keep building when it feels like nothing is working. Without belief, talent is just untapped energy, wasted opportunity, a flame that burns out before it ever lights anything around it. Believing in yourself is not arrogance, it is necessity. It is survival. It is fuel. Belief is the unseen force that shapes visible success. It begins deep inside, in moments when no one is clapping, when no one is noticing, when no one is offering encouragement. It is easy to believe in yourself when everything is going well, when the doors are swinging open and the victories are piling up. It is much harder to believe when nothing seems to be happening, when rejection piles up, when dreams seem to drift further away instead of closer. Those are the moments that separate the ones who only had talent from the ones who turned their lives into testimonies. It is not a matter of whether you have the talent. It is a matter of whether you have the heart to keep believing in your talent even when it looks like nobody else does. A person with belief will outlast a person with more talent but less heart every time, because belief produces action. Belief fuels discipline. Belief keeps you practicing when others give up. Belief keeps you learning, growing, adjusting. It keeps you knocking on doors when others decide it is easier to just stay outside. Talent can give you a head start, but belief keeps you in the race. Talent can give you moments of glory, but belief builds a lifetime of achievement. Every champion you admire today, every person whose success story you study, was not just carried by talent. They were carried by relentless belief. The dangerous thing about relying on talent alone is that talent can make you comfortable. It can make you feel entitled. It can whisper lies like, you don't have to work hard, you don't have to push yourself, you don't have to grow. Talent can make you lazy if you do not pair it with belief. Belief tells you you are capable of more. Keep going. Belief tells you you haven't arrived yet. Stay hungry. Belief keeps you humble enough to realize that no matter how good you are, you can always get better. Talent whispers comfort. Belief demands growth. Believing in yourself is about more than just thinking positive. It is about ownership. It is about responsibility. It is about saying, I may not control everything around me, but I control my effort. I control my attitude. I control my persistence. It is about taking ownership of your journey instead of waiting for permission. Too many talented people are sitting on the sidelines waiting for the world to recognize them, waiting for an opportunity to fall in their lap, waiting for someone to believe in them first. But the world does not work that way. Opportunities come to those who are already moving, already believing, already creating momentum through action. Belief is not passive. It demands something from you. It demands that you show up even when you are tired. It demands that you keep practicing when you see no immediate results. It demands that you risk failure, embarrassment, rejection. Without belief, talent folds under pressure. Without belief, talent hesitates instead of acts. Without belief, talent withers at the first sign of difficulty, but belief strengthens you for the long haul. It gives you the resilience to withstand criticism, the patience to endure delay, and the passion to keep dreaming even after disappointment. Talent is common, belief is rare. Look around and you will find millions of people with natural gifts who never did anything significant with them. The difference between those who stay stuck and those who soar is almost always belief. It is the inner conviction that no matter what happens, no matter how slow the progress feels, you have something valuable to offer and you are willing to fight for it. Belief builds grit, it builds perseverance, it builds a fire inside that circumstances cannot easily extinguish. Believing in yourself does not mean you think you are perfect. It does not mean you ignore your flaws or pretend you have nothing to learn. True belief is rooted in humility because it acknowledges that growth is a process. It acknowledges that mistakes will happen, but mistakes do not define your worth. Belief says, I am not there yet, but I will get there. I will keep learning. I will keep improving. I will keep pushing. It is the voice that picks you up off the mat when failure knocks you down. It is the voice that keeps you going when applause fades and excitement wears off. It is the anchor when storms come. It is the engine when you feel like quitting. You may have all the talent in the world, but if you do not believe in it, you will waste it. You will sabotage yourself. You will hide your gifts because you are afraid they are not enough. You will lower your goals to match your fears instead of raising your faith to match your potential. Belief turns talent into action. Belief turns dreams into plans. Belief turns potential into reality. Without belief, talent sits quietly in the background, unused, unseen, unfulfilled. Belief is the switch that turns potential into power, that turns a dream into a destiny. It is the key that unlocks the doors talent alone cannot open. Mindset is your greatest weapon because it controls how you see the world, how you handle challenges, and how you respond to both failure and success. A strong, focused mind has the power to turn setbacks into setups, to turn rejection into redirection, and to turn obstacles into opportunities. Without the right mindset, even the best opportunities can look like dead ends. With the right mindset, even the toughest circumstances can become the soil where dreams grow. Mindset shapes your perspective, and perspective shapes your actions, and your actions ultimately determine your results. If your mindset is weak, life will feel like a series of battles you are always losing. If your mindset is strong, life will still have battles, but you will meet them like a warrior who knows victory is possible. The truth is that life will throw challenges at you whether you are ready or not. Difficulty does not ask permission. Hardships do not send warnings. Storms come, failures happen, losses hurt. But what makes the difference is not the size of the storm, but the strength of the mind facing it. A strong mindset understands that problems are not the end of the story. They are part of the story. They are the tests that build resilience, the pressure that builds diamonds, the training ground where greatness is forged. A weak mindset crumbles at the first sign of pressure. A strong mindset learns to lean into pressure, to grow from it, to rise because of it. Mindset is the one thing no one can take from you. They can take your job, your money, your possessions, even your status, but they cannot take your way of thinking unless you let them. Your mindset is your private fortress, your personal compass, your ultimate weapon. With the right mindset, you can rebuild after loss, you can create after failure, you can hope after heartbreak. Without the right mindset, even success can feel empty, even abundance can feel like scarcity, even victory can feel like defeat. Because it is not what happens to you that determines your future, it is how you interpret what happens to you. It is the story you tell yourself about what the hardship means. A strong mindset writes a story of overcoming, a story of growth, a story of strength. To build a strong mindset, you must first accept that life is not supposed to be easy all the time. Growth is uncomfortable. Change is painful. Progress demands sacrifice. If you expect life to be smooth, you will be constantly disappointed. But if you understand that struggle is part of the process, you will face it with strength instead of shock. You will prepare yourself mentally for the hard days, and because you are prepared, you will endure them better. A strong mindset is proactive, not reactive. It builds itself up in advance. It feeds itself truth daily. It trains for the battles before they come. A strong mindset is also rooted in gratitude. It finds reasons to be thankful even in hard times. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what is possible. It takes your attention away from complaints and directs it toward solutions. Gratitude builds resilience because it reminds you that even on the worst days, there are still blessings worth fighting for. A strong mind does not deny pain, but it refuses to be dominated by it. It acknowledges loss but still chooses hope. It faces fear but still chooses action. It feels doubt but still chooses belief. Every time you choose gratitude over bitterness, action over fear, belief over doubt, you are sharpening your greatest weapon. Mindset is what separates those who dream from those who do. It is easy to dream about success. It is harder to think like a successful person when the journey gets long, when results are slow, when loneliness creeps in. Dreams without the right mindset are fantasies. They stay stuck in the land of what if and someday. But dreams powered by a strong mindset move into the land of action. They become goals, they become plans, they become legacies. Mindset is the bridge between wishing and working. It is the internal engine that pushes you when everything external is telling you to stop. A focused mind is not distracted by temporary emotions. It does not give up because of a bad day or a bad week. It stays locked in on the mission. It remembers why it started. It reminds itself of the bigger picture when the immediate circumstances get tough. A strong, focused mind is not ruled by feelings but guided by principles. It knows that discipline must be stronger than mood. It knows that commitment must outweigh convenience. It knows that vision must be clearer than fear. Focused mindset creates consistency, and consistency creates mastery. Your greatest dreams will require a mind that can withstand delay without losing hope, that can handle criticism without losing confidence, that can experience failure without losing faith. The bigger your dreams, the stronger your mindset must be. Big dreams come with big challenges, and big challenges require a mind trained to persevere, to adjust, to rise higher with every fall. A strong, focused mind prepares you not just for the start of the journey, but for every mile, every obstacle, every detour along the way. Training your mindset is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice. It is a daily decision to choose faith over fear, discipline over distraction, perseverance over quitting. It is speaking truth to yourself when lies sound louder. It is reminding yourself of your strength when weakness tries to convince you otherwise. It is building yourself up from the inside out so that nothing from the outside can destroy you. A strong, focused mind is a fortress no storm can tear down, a weapon no enemy can defeat, a light no darkness can extinguish. Success is not a destination you stumble upon. It is a deliberate choice, a series of intentional actions, and a reflection of the habits you practice every single day. Intentional living means you stop drifting through life and start directing your life. It means you wake up each day with a sense of purpose, knowing that the decisions you make today are shaping the reality you will live tomorrow. Intentionality is about ownership. It is about recognizing that you are not a passenger in your life story. You are the driver. Every action you take, every thought you nurture, every word you speak is either taking you closer to the life you want or pulling you further away from it. Living intentionally demands clarity. You have to know who you are, what you want, and why you are pursuing it. Without clarity, you drift. Without clarity, you react instead of lead. Without clarity, you waste energy on things that do not matter and neglect the things that do. A life of success is not built by chance. It is built by a relentless commitment to focusing your energy, your time, and your talent on the things that truly align with your purpose. When you are intentional, you start saying no to good things so you can say yes to great things. You stop living by default and start living by design. Intentionality also means understanding that time is not an unlimited resource. Every minute you spend is a minute you will never get back. Successful people do not waste time on distractions that do not serve their vision. They understand that every day is a gift, and they treat it like one. They set goals not just to have something to chase, but because goals bring structure to their intention. Goals are not wishes, they are commitments. They are declarations that say, I am serious about where I am going. Without goals, you are like a ship without a rudder, tossed by every wave. With goals, you have direction, you have purpose. Being intentional means you take responsibility for your environment. You pay attention to the voices you allow to influence you. You are selective about the company you keep. You understand that who you surround yourself with will either pull you toward your purpose or push you away from it. Success is not just about personal discipline. It is also about strategic association. If you want to live intentionally, you must walk with people who challenge you to be better, who hold you accountable, who believe in the vision you have even when you feel discouraged. The wrong environment can suffocate a dream. The right environment can help it flourish. Living with intention also demands that you are honest with yourself. You do not make excuses. You do not blame circumstances. You do not wait for a lucky break. You look at your life and ask, where am I falling short? What can I do better? What needs to change? Growth only happens when you are willing to confront hard truths about yourself. It happens when you are willing to adjust, to realign, to recommit. Intentional living is about constant course correction. It is about checking in with yourself regularly and making sure you are still aligned with your highest goals and values. Intentional people understand that success is not about doing everything. It is about doing the right things. It is about prioritizing. It is about identifying what truly matters and putting your best energy there. The world will always be noisy. There will always be more demands than you can possibly meet. If you are not intentional, the noise will drown out your purpose. But if you live on purpose, you will learn to tune out the noise and focus on your mission. Every yes you give must be weighed against your vision. Every commitment you make must be measured by its alignment with your goals. Otherwise, you will find yourself busy but not productive, active but not advancing. Another key part of intentional living is consistency. Dreams are fueled by passion but built by consistency. Inspiration can get you started, but intentional habits keep you going. Every day you show up, even when you do not feel like it, you are casting a vote for the person you are becoming. You are proving to yourself that you are serious. Consistency creates momentum, and momentum creates breakthroughs. Small intentional actions repeated over time produce extraordinary results. There is no magic formula, no overnight success. There is just daily commitment, daily discipline, daily intentionality. Living intentionally also means you are willing to sacrifice. Success will always require giving up something. It might be comfort. It might be approval. It might be short-term pleasure. Intentional living forces you to ask, is this choice leading me closer to my goal or pulling me away from it? Sacrifice is not loss when it is made for something greater. It is an investment. Every sacrifice you make for your vision strengthens your commitment to it. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, purpose over pleasure, you are investing in a future that will pay you back far beyond what you gave up. Intentional living is about understanding that today matters. Too many people live waiting for someday when the conditions are right, someday when they feel ready, someday when everything lines up. But someday is not a strategy. Someday is how dreams die slow deaths. Success belongs to those who understand that today is all they have, and they must use it wisely. Every day is a chance to plant seeds for the future. Every day is a chance to take one more step toward the vision. Waiting for the perfect moment is an illusion. The perfect moment is created by making the most of the imperfect moments you are given. Dreams do not work unless you do. No matter how big your vision is, no matter how powerful your intentions are, without action, it all remains just an idea. Hard work is the bridge that takes you from where you are to where you want to be. It is the grind, the effort, the hours nobody sees, the sacrifice nobody celebrates. Hard work is not glamorous. It is not always exciting. Most days it is repetitive, it is uncomfortable, it is challenging. But it is absolutely necessary. You can dream about success, you can visualize it, you can pray for it, but if you are not willing to outwork everyone around you, it will stay forever just out of reach. Hard work demands consistency, Anyone can work hard for a day. Anyone can be motivated for a week. But true success belongs to those who are relentless, who show up when the excitement has faded, who give their best even when they do not feel like it. The road to greatness is paved with the bricks of daily discipline. It is the commitment to doing the small, necessary things over and over again without giving up. Hard work is the unseen ingredient in every success story. It is the countless hours of practice behind every championship, the endless rewrites behind every best-selling book, the sleepless nights behind every groundbreaking innovation. Hard work is what transforms dreams into reality. Working hard does not guarantee that the journey will be easy. In fact, it almost guarantees that you will face obstacles, setbacks, and failures. But hard work prepares you for them. It toughens your spirit. It builds your resilience. It gives you the strength to keep going when others quit. Hard work creates habits, and habits create momentum, and momentum creates breakthroughs. Every day you show up and put in the effort, you are laying another brick in the foundation of your future. Success does not show up all at once. It is built day by day, moment by moment, choice by choice. There are no shortcuts to greatness. There are no hacks or quick fixes that can replace the value of putting in real work. Talent can open doors, but hard work keeps those doors open. Connections can introduce you to opportunities, but hard work makes sure you are ready when opportunity knocks. Luck may give you a moment, but hard work turns moments into movements. It is not about being the most naturally gifted. It is about being the most determined, the most disciplined, the most relentless in your pursuit. It is about doing what others are unwilling to do. Hard work also demands a willingness to sacrifice. You have to be willing to say no to distractions. You have to be willing to trade short-term pleasure for long-term fulfillment. You have to be willing to endure seasons of isolation where it feels like no one understands your grind. You have to be willing to put in the effort even when there is no applause, no recognition, no visible reward. Hard work is often lonely. It is often thankless, but it is never wasted. Every ounce of effort is an investment in your future self. Every late night, every early morning, every extra rep, every extra hour is building something greater than what you can see right now. People may admire your success one day, but they will never fully understand the price you paid to get there. They will see the shine, but not the struggle. They will see the glory, but not the grind. That is the nature of hard work. It happens mostly in private, long before the public ever sees the results. You have to be willing to work when no one is watching, to prepare when no one is asking, to sacrifice when no one is appreciating. Hard work is the commitment to the process, even when progress feels invisible. Hard work is not just about physical effort, it is about mental toughness. It is about staying focused when distractions are calling your name. It is about believing in the value of what you are building even when there is no immediate payoff. It is about trusting that the seeds you are planting today will eventually bear fruit if you are patient and persistent enough. Hard work is about mastering the art of delayed gratification. It is about being mature enough to resist the urge for instant rewards in exchange for a future that is far greater than anything you could have right now. When you commit to hard work, you change your identity. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as a creator of outcomes. You stop blaming external factors for your results and start taking full responsibility for your effort. Hard work shifts your mindset from I hope to I will. It transforms uncertainty into confidence because when you know you have put in the work, you have nothing to fear, you are prepared, you are battle-tested. You are ready. Every great achievement you admire was built on a foundation of hard work. Behind every success story is a person who decided they would not quit, no matter how hard it got. A person who chose perseverance over comfort, discipline over distraction, grit over giving up. Success does not come to those who want it the most. It comes to those who are willing to work for it the longest. It is a marathon, not a sprint. It is about staying consistent, staying hungry, staying humble through every season. Hard work turns potential into performance. It turns intentions into accomplishments. It turns possibilities into realities. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. It is the rough draft before the masterpiece. It is the training ground where strength is built, resilience is developed, and character is forged. Failure is not something to be feared or avoided. It is something to be embraced, studied, and used as a stepping stone toward greatness. Every person who has ever achieved anything significant has walked through the valley of failure. They have stumbled, fallen, been knocked down, but they chose to rise each time with more wisdom, more grit, and more determination. Failure is not a dead end unless you allow it to be. It is a detour, a teacher, a necessary part of the journey to success. Failure teaches you what success cannot. It strips away illusions. It shows you where you are weak so you can become stronger. It humbles you so that your victories are not built on arrogance but on wisdom. Failure refines your vision, sharpens your skills, and tests your commitment. When you fail, you learn what works and what does not. You gain first-hand experience that no classroom or theory could ever teach you. You find out what you are made of. You discover whether your dreams are strong enough to withstand the storms, whether your passion is deep enough to survive the setbacks. One of the greatest mistakes people make is thinking that failure defines them. But failure is not your identity, it is an event. It is something that happens to you, not something that becomes you. When you understand that distinction, you free yourself to keep moving forward. You are not a failure because you failed. You are only a failure if you stop trying. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who never failed. They are the ones who never gave up. They used failure as fuel. They saw every setback as feedback. They refused to let a single moment of defeat define their entire journey. Failure also teaches you perseverance. It forces you to dig deeper, to find strength you did not know you had. Every time you fall and get back up, you become a little tougher, a little wiser, a little more prepared for the battles ahead. Failure builds endurance. It trains you to keep moving forward when things do not go as planned, to keep believing in your dream when there is no evidence that it is possible. Perseverance is not built in the moments when everything is going smoothly. It is built in the moments when everything is falling apart, and you choose to keep going anyway. Embracing failure also means changing your perspective about it. Instead of seeing it as something shameful, you learn to see it as a necessary part of growth. You understand that the only way to avoid failure completely is to avoid trying, to play it safe, to stay small. But greatness requires risk. It demands that you step outside of your comfort zone, that you push beyond your limits, that you dare to dream bigger than what feels safe. And when you step into that kind of arena, failure is inevitable. It is part of the price you pay for pursuing something extraordinary. Failure also breeds creativity. When one path is blocked, failure forces you to find another way. It pushes you to think differently, to innovate, to stretch beyond your usual ways of doing things. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in history have come because someone failed at first and was forced to rethink, rework, and reimagine their approach. Failure does not destroy true creativity, it awakens it. It strips away the easy answers and challenges you to dig deeper, to think bigger, to find new solutions you would have never discovered otherwise. There is a hidden gift inside every failure if you are willing to look for it. The lessons you learn through failing are often the ones that prepare you for the weight of success. Without failure, you might achieve success but not have the character to sustain it. Failure humbles you. It keeps you grounded. It reminds you that you are not invincible and that growth is a continual process. It teaches you empathy, because when you know what it feels like to fail, you are slower to judge and quicker to encourage others. Failure builds leaders who lead with both strength and compassion. Handling failure well is also about refusing to live in the past. It is about learning the lessons and then moving forward with them. It is easy to get stuck replaying your mistakes over and over again in your mind, letting them paralyze you with regret or fear. But growth demands that you take the wisdom from the failure and leave the pain behind. You do not have to carry every mistake with you like a burden. You can carry it like a lesson, a badge of honor that proves you were brave enough to try, to risk, to reach. The truth is, failure only has the power you give it. It can be a stumbling block or a stepping stone. It can break you down or build you up. It can cause you to shrink back, or it can cause you to rise higher. The choice is yours. Every failure is an opportunity dressed in work clothes. It is a doorway disguised as a wall. It is a test of your courage, your resilience, your commitment to the dream that called you in the first place. If you run from failure, you run from growth. If you embrace it, you open yourself up to lessons and breakthroughs that can transform your life in ways you cannot even imagine yet.